Today, I'm going to talk about a wah pedal that made history in music, the Ibanez WH-10. It became famous for its classic and aggressive sound, and John Frusciante used it throughout most of his career. I'm going to cover the evolution of this pedal over the years, and then show you how the WX-10 from VRM Effects is a faithful recreation with some improvements that make this pedal even more special. The first version of the WH-10 is called WH-10 V.1. It was released in the 80s and is considered by many, including myself, to be the best wah pedal ever made. It offers the perfect balance between gain and volume, but it had one major problem. The enclosure was made of plastic, which made it less durable and prone to breaking over time. By the late 90s, they released the WH-10 V.1.5, which also featured a plastic enclosure. It is pretty much the same circuit as the V1, but with a much cleaner tone, moving away from the classic aggressiveness of the original pedal. In 2009, they launched the WH-10 V.2, which in my opinion is the worst version. The gain is excessive and the sound lost the unique character of the V1. But at least this version came with a metal enclosure. Lastly, and a little less important, was the WH-10 V.3. Released in 2020, it's an interesting pedal, but it still doesn't capture the magic of the V1. The sound changed quite a bit across different versions, but the V1 remains the favorite among musicians. Even John Frusciante is using a modified WH-10 V.3, which I believe is modded to get closer to the tone of the V1.
A wah pedal, it's...
Now the WH-10 from VRM Effects is a recreation of the Grail V1, but with improvements that fix the historical issues of the original. The first upgrade is the enclosure, made of solidly reinforced PETG in partnership with VRM Effects. It's 3D printed by WaveXlab and it's extremely durable and way more robust than the plastic of the V1. One thing I really like about this enclosure is the LED plate on the base of the pedal. Besides making it look cooler, it makes it much easier to use in shows and dark environments, helping you see when the pedal is engaged. Follow WaveXlab on Instagram, they offers mods like this for various pedals. Also follow VRM Effects and my personal profile on Instagram. I will leave them on the screen. For the more techie-savvy crowd, the WX-10 features an improvement internal buffer that preserves the guitar signal and works perfectly with fuzz pedals. And for me, the biggest highlight of this pedal is that it has an independent gain knob separate from the volume knob. This lets you adjust the gain without affecting the volume. That means you can recreate the tones of the entire WH-10 series in a single pedal, or even simulate the sound of Vox Wah, for example. The level knob controls the pedal's volume when engaged, which helps avoid volume jumps like what happens with the WH-10 V2. Just like the original WH-10, the WX-10 from VRM Effects also has a depth knob. They say Frusciante keeps this knob between 40 and 60%. That's where I like to set it to because it lets the guitar sound come through while keeping the wah effect from being overwhelming. Following the original circuit, the WX-10 has a switch that lets you toggle between guitar and bass modes to explore new sounds. And the bass mode is actually pretty cool. Check this out. Another thing I really like to do with the WX-10 is feedback manipulation. For some reason, its circuit makes it easier to shape feedback frequencies. Take a listen. To wrap things up, if you set the level and gain knobs to maximum, you get the exact circuit of the original V1. But enough talk, let's hear more of this pedal in action. And to finish, let's compare it with the original WH-10s. The versions I have here for this comparison are the WH-10 V.1.5, WH-10 V.2 and WH-10 V.3. All of them are stock and unmodified, except for the WH-10 V.3, which has the WaveXlab light plate, but that's just an aesthetic mod and doesn't change the pedal's original sound at all. Unfortunately, bad luck struck while I was recording this video. My WH-10 V.1 stopped working. Check this out, I'm moving the pedal but the sound doesn't change at all. So just like my V1, I'm sending the V1.5 for maintenance, and as soon as I get them back, I will record a new comparison for you. So make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss it. If you liked this video and found it helpful, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel to keep up with new content. Producing this type of video takes a lot of work, so I really appreciate your support. And if you're interested in buying the pedal, get in touch with VRM Effects on Instagram. Their handle is @VRM Effects. Just send them a direct message and let them know you like this video. By doing that, you'll also be supporting the channel. And if you're feeling stuck in your guitar playing, whether in theory or technique, I've created a guitar course called John Frusciante Guitar Masterclass. In it, I explain everything John used to compose and improvise, and I even cover tones and licks. There's a model with over 50 licks, so if you're interested, just visit my website and join the course. I'm sure you'll make great progress. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.